I think so. Well, Mike, I don't think anybody in the whole world can expect things not to change. I'm like, if you think things aren't going to change, you're just not being real with yourself. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. Things have changed, but they
Mhm.
will be changing back, to how things were sooner or later once we
Mhm.
get past this extended flu season.
It's something, right?
It's a real thing.
Yeah, even if it is a plan by the government to whatever, it's just still real.
Right,
You
right.
know,
It's
at the end, huh?
yeah, it's still a real thing at the end of the day,
Yeah,
whether it's exaggerated or whatever the
planned.
case is. Planned,
Yeah.
plandemic.
You been hearing that too?
Yeah, yeah, I hear all that type of stuff a lot. I'm more on the side of logic and reasoning
I just,
than
huh? I just want to get shit done. I'm like, okay, was it planned? All right, how do we get? How do how do we
yeah.
keep moving?
I guess we'll know in November is what I keep hearing.
I think it's
Everything.
definitely coming back, Mike. This shit ain't going nowhere, man.
Yeah, well,
It ain't going nowhere.
election year.
You know they got anyway. Yeah, we going about that forever. Mike Banks Roundup. I feel like I want to call you Lloyd Banks for some reason, man.
You can do that if you want. It's all good.
Roundup fam, what's good? What's going down? This is Chris Haskins. I'm your boy. Out here in the streets, I'm just a street reporter for you. My mission to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. I'm like one take, Mike. I don't have no time to be doing the editing, man. We bring you on here and this one take and it's over. Oh shoot. Right?
Yeah, you don't want to get yourself set up to be doing retakes all the time.
Heck no,
So get it
man.
right the first time and you're good.
Nobody got time for that. Plus, we're bringing value, man. I don't have time for a show, right? You're literally going to bring value to the people.
Yeah.
So yeah, Roundup today. I wanted to bring Mike on today because he's raised. I have the honor to actually have the back office to the clients that we refer. Right, we get a little piece, but I can see that he's already raised over $1.8 million, Mike. And first
Yeah.
of all, I want to say thank you for that, brother.
You're welcome.
What you do is real. It's truly unbelievable. I've never seen numbers this big with one lender. Not to mention the people that are coming through our pipeline. But Mike, thank you so much. And today I wanted to bring you on just to share with my rounduppers. You're still in business. You're still funding. You still have money available. Tell me
Yep.
how your thing's been going for you so far over the last few months.
Yeah, well, there's been a huge demand for funding. We've had more new clients enrolling in our program over the last few months than ever before. So on the funding side of things, we're still getting plenty of funding for our clients. Things have tightened up. For example, a couple banks' underwriting departments were closed for a little while. One bank, Chase Bank, started requiring that you have a bank account, a pre-existing bank account with them before you can get approved for business credit. So little things like that have slowed down the total amount of funding that we're bringing in every month, every week. But still plenty of funding available. A lot of people went and tried to get the PPP funding, but that didn't work out for a lot of people, and that also tied up the bank's underwriting departments as well. But
Regarding manpower and processing
yep,
different types of products.
exactly. Yep,
Gotcha.
that's what we were told directly by the banks. So
I believe it.
yeah, now that things have kind of reopened, even though some areas are like kind of reclosing things down, but for the most part, hopefully we're staying reopened and we're back on that trend of reopening and getting past all this stuff, and things will be back to normal. We've been told in the next 2 to 3 weeks things should start ticking back up, like to nearly back how they were. A lot of the banks have reopened their underwriting departments, so we'll see if Chase Bank still keeps requiring the bank account, but yeah, things are still going good. We got a lot of clients coming through, getting access to funding. We just had a client actually that got over $5,500 over what we had pre-qualified him for.
Mm-hmm.
He got $65,000 on the
Nice.
first round of funding. So, tons of funding still coming in. And on our end, things are great. Business is booming. We're we're growing still.
Good.
We just hired 6 new people.
Nice.
We've got a few more people that we're bringing in. So we'll have added about 10 more people, including help for our IT team.
Big.
So yeah, things are growing. We're about to move into our new office soon. And yeah, I mean, if anyone right now is interested, we could definitely help get access to business credit. That's what we've done for Kris and Chris's group.
Yeah, man, I'm going to get to a lot of that stuff, Mike. Before I get there, before we get cranking on the content roundup, please get your questions in for this guy. Very challenging to get him on the line. He's the COO for the company, and he manages a lot of the day-to-day operations. So get your questions in for these business lines of credit. Mike, people that want, I guess, people that are concerned about real estate in my market is on fire. It's on fire right now, Mike. And I want you to just share with my rounduppers I guess, has that changed the way you guys, what are you seeing about the real estate markets?
Well, I listed a flip that I took too long on, and I listed it March 29th. So it was in the beginning of the shutdown, I think. But yeah, I was like freaking out about that, but I listed it and I got 3 full price offers, and within 3 days I had it under contract. So I haven't seen, I haven't been doing too much on the side of like acquiring properties lately.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's more motivated sellers now. And it seems like as far as like listing retail, people are still buying retail. So
they are, Mike.
From my perspective, it seems like I'm seeing like a lot of activity with wholesalers. So it seems like you just said, things are kind of heating up. So if this continues, I would imagine that things are just going to keep getting better and better and better on the real estate side. So it's probably a great idea to get access to funding right now and start looking for properties, which is what I need to do as well. I've been meaning to, but I haven't found any deals. Yeah, I haven't found any deals lately, but I haven't done any of my own marketing or anything like that. But yeah, it seems like it's about that time where we should be looking to buy something.
There you go. Well, I just wanted, I talk this all the time. I'm Roundup. I know you're ready to get rolling. I'm just like a talking head. If I say one thing, they're like, all right, Kris, you've been doing it forever. I just want other people to give me their experience with real estate market. It seems like it's a lot of volume going on right now.
Yeah, even on the retail side, I've seen a few people talk about the flip that they just did during COVID. And it was similar to what I was saying. Like, people are kind of surprised that they're selling things. And it's not like it's crashing, but it's probably heating up because of the fact that there's more motivated sellers.
That's right. I'm telling you, y'all, the real estate market's on fire. Okay, Mike, business credit lines. For the people my Roundup family that may not understand what you offer, this $1.8 million that you've already helped my Rounduppers to. Tell me how you did all that first. First of all, how does it work? What does your program look like?
So in order to qualify for business credit, the main thing is having good personal credit. Even though business credit doesn't show up on your personal credit report, you still have to qualify with a personal credit check. And so you need usually about a 730 and up, and you're usually good to go. So what we do is a done for you service. We have a 12-month membership. We do 3 rounds of funding in that period. We can get up to $250,000, sometimes more than that. So the first round of funding typically comes in within the first 2 to 4 weeks. And, the average is around $50,000, the amount that we get for people. It all varies based on credit. So once people become a client with us, we review their credit and we let them know where they stand, how much we think they're going to get, what banks do we plan to target, all that good stuff. We get all that done in the first, few days of them getting started with us. And then we move things forward. We do all the applying. We follow up. We speak with the decision maker. We make sure you get approved with the maximum amount possible. And that's how we originate anywhere from 10 to 15 million every month in new business credit. We're basically like the middleman. And so we do all of that for our clients. If you don't have an entity, we also do that. We set up entities for our clients as well.
So someone can use your services even if they haven't set up the LLC yet to conduct business?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as long as you got good credit, that's really all that matters. I mean, you don't need tax returns. It's stated income. It's all credit based. So as long as you have good credit, anyone can get business credit. You don't have to have a cash flowing business even.
Nice.
So with the idea of business credit, it's, someone, it could be a sole proprietor doing their own things on the side and need credit to be able to do that side hustle stuff, whatever it is. So yeah, anyone can get it, and it comes with 0 interest for 12 months on average, which is cool. And you can then send a wire transfer from the credit card. There's a company called Plastic. They'll charge the credit card and they'll send a wire to anywhere you want to send it. So you can send it to a title company. You can close on cash deals as a cash buyer. If it's especially under 100,000, we have a lot of clients that are doing that. I've interviewed tons of them. And, a lot of people really love the resource. They really think it's a great, affordable option. You can use it for marketing. If you're spending thousands every month, you can get rewards points back while you're spending that money. Put it on your business credit cards, and it will not show up on your personal credit report. So if you're spending 20 grand a month, if you put it all on your business credit, it doesn't show up on your personal credit report, even though the personal credit is checked before you're approved. So it's a great resource, and that is pretty much how it works. I mean, people sign up with us, and we just pretty much do everything for them, and they get the credit, they use it, and then we contact them, several months after the first round, and we get them ready for the next round of funding, which means we're going to apply for more 0 interest business credit. And we do that 3 times over the 12 months. And then we're able to merge some of those accounts together and basically extend the amount of time that you have it at 0 interest. You can do bounce transfers from the old accounts to the new accounts. A lot of times you can merge the account, and then we can apply for the same account again. So we have clients that sign up with us for 2, 3, 4 years at a time. So yeah,
you got some secrets, man. I've seen the stuff you talk about. I've seen you do it, man. I did stuff. Some of the stuff I never even thought about, like paying off different things with credit scores and lowering.
Yeah. You can use Plastic for anything. Like you could send payments from Plastic to a contractor, to your home equity line of credit if you wanted to.
Crazy.
There's all different types of things you can do with it. How much did you say that we got for your group?
Right now is over 1.88.
1.8. Nice. That's awesome.
I don't know if that changes. Mike, tell me, just so I can make sure I know who this is for. I want my rounduppers to know this. Who is this not for, Mike? I know what you can do, work some magic, but this is not for everybody.
Yeah. It's people that know how to make money with money. So like people that are already doing real estate, or maybe you really have all the tools already in place and you're wanting to get your first deal done. You know how to find a good property, like a good deal, because we don't want people to get access to this type of credit and go and buy a bad deal. Obviously, we don't want people buying TVs and things that aren't going to create a return on investment. So anyone who's like an entrepreneur, an investor, if you're looking to buy some property, if you need money for renovations, it's a great way to use it. Marketing, who's it not for? So if you have really bad credit right now and you're not even close to a 730, then we would say we might need to start you with credit repair, which is also something that we can help with. We have a company called Kadam Credit Help, and they help people repair their credit. So if somebody comes to us and they say, hey, I need funding, I'm a real estate investor, I want to buy, a property under 100 grand, or I want to do a renovation, I need the money, whatever. If they have bad credit, we still got to do the credit repair first.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'd say that's who it's not for, and that's who it is also kind of for.
Well, I'm just saying, for the mindset, Mike, you can get money for a lot of people. I've seen you do it. But I'm just like, I don't know if everybody that I meet or everybody that I interact with is ready to use the money, perhaps to make more. Like we use it, leverage, to create more value, more money in the marketplace, Mike. But I just don't want my rounduppers going out there buying anything consumable. Mike, what would you say to that?
I agree. Yeah, I would definitely use it for things that are going to create a return in your business somehow, whatever it might be: marketing, deals, rehabs, paying an employee, contractor, paying towards your HELOC. And then you can just take the money right off your HELOC. If you overpay on your HELOC, you can pull that money off that you just paid in with the credit through Plastic. Plastic will send the payment to your HELOC, and now you can withdraw however much that was and have that cash in your bank account.
Gotcha. That's sharp. That's sharp. Roundup, don't be getting this money to buy TVs and crap and anything that's consumable. I know Mike can get you the money. That's not a problem.
I mean, unless you have a bar. I mean, you need TVs for your bar,
That's true.
Or maybe,
Mike, what about my rounduppers that say, listen, Mike, we don't need you. I can go out here and I can contact the banks and get my own money. I mean, I can get my own credit lines.
That's, if you can do that, then you can do that. But at the same time, there's a reason why we, are in business. We're able to get people more than they can get on their own. We are able to do it more consistently. There's a reason why people want to work with us. We have like 40 employees. We have 2,000 positive reviews, 4.9 star rating.
Wow.
The amounts that we get. I mean, when we do a webinar, we show everybody the credit gained view, and it shows a table. And in the original approved column, it shows people that there's a lot of zeros there. And so what it's basically showing you is the automatic approval comes in a lot lower than what happens after we do our negotiations process. We usually bring in 80% more compared to what the person's approved for. So when the average person gets approved for whatever line of credit, that's usually the decision, and that's that. But we know what everyone really is qualified for because we know what the bank's criteria is. So when we apply for somebody, we don't just take the original offer. We make sure that they get the maximum allowable amount based on their credit. So there's other reasons why we do the entity. It's a full, done for you service. So there's other things that come with it. People get educated. People, learn ways to keep their credit maintained and with a really high score going through our program.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we're just we know what we're doing. We're the experts. It's just like anything else. When you go and pay, you pay someone to do it, you just don't want to do it yourself. Plus, that they're going to do a better job if you hire someone because they have more time to do it. So at the same time, are people able to go out and apply for credit on their own? They absolutely are. If you don't see the value in what we offer, then you can try to do it on your own. But I've had tons of clients tell me that they have, I had a 750 score, but I didn't have any business credit history, so I couldn't get approved. And now they're coming to us and they're signing up with us because that's a decision that they'll give you. They'll say to you, sorry, we're not able to approve you right now because you have no previous business credit history.
Mm-hmm.
And now if I'm the consumer and I don't know about all this stuff that we do here, I'd be like, damn, that sucks. I don't know. What do I do now? Like, I guess
what
I gotta
did you do? What did you do?
know. How do I get business credit history if I get denied because I don't have business credit history? I don't think I'll ever get any. So there's like weird responses like that sometimes you get thrown off guard and you're like, oh man, shoot, that's the decision. So we know, what's possible. So for us, it's easier. But
you've been doing it forever.
Exactly.
Mike, I hate to cut you off. I heard you say I want to stay in the framework that you said a second ago about the first time you go in. That sounds like what I would do, or I would just go apply, and if I'm turned down, then it's over.
Yeah, I know. If we did like a poll, most people on here would say, "Yeah, that happened to me. I was denied." It happens with like auto loans, all different types of loans, credit cards. But a lot of times, that's not the actual final decision. Sometimes it's just a systematic response from the computer, from the algorithm that is doing the decision.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have a human being on the phone and you can talk to them, let them know what's going on and say, hey, I also have good credit. I would love to start a business credit relationship with your bank, but I don't have any previous history. Can you use my good personal credit and lend to me based off that? So having those conversations does bring in about 80% more than what the automatic approval was. So that's what I was referring to.
Yeah, I want people to understand because I've seen even with the spreadsheet that we have, Mike. I'm looking at the Roundup family. First time may or may not been approved. But my thing is, Mike, how in the world are we going to know who to call after that happens? I mean, you got 1 million people working at these places.
Yeah, good point you bring up. Hold times have been like quadrupled since the pandemic. So yeah, people are, even our team, we're sitting on hold and we have direct line to the decision, to the underwriter. So that's the other side of the coin. Like if you want to do this on your own and you want to do it the way we do it, that means you got to follow up to 7 times. That's what we do for each application. So
I ain't doing that.
If you're sitting on hold for 2 hours at a time, that's not going to be fun.
No, I ain't doing
time consuming. So just kind of like with real estate, like when you do a deal, you could save yourself money if you learned how to do the title work, the lien search and all that stuff, right? You could save a couple grand every time you do a deal. But most investors, like 99.9% of them, from my experience,
Yeah.
are not doing their own title work. But there was one time I had an investor who could do their own title work. Maybe they owned a title company. I don't know, but that was part of their deal. They wanted to do the title work, and then we didn't have to pay closing costs. But the point is, you pay the pay for the help, unless you're like a real do it yourselfer. Then I'm not painting the walls or any of that stuff. But
heck no,
it's kind of the same concept.
We're not doing any of the work. Roundup, get your questions in from Mike Banks here so we can get you understanding on how this business credit lines thing works. And Mike has given my Rounduppers a special discount if you join up. That link is in the video description below. Mike, tell them a little bit about the service.
Okay, so like I was saying before, it's all done for you. It's not like I'm saying it's done for you and then you just get a bunch of video tutorials. It's actually done for you. Like, we actually do all the work. We get tons of phone calls here every single day from clients, from potential clients, but a lot from potential clients, because it's like a consulting service for the 12-month membership. We're kind of at your disposal. We're doing all different types of things for clients, answering questions, setting up entities, getting them approved with large limit credit lines with multiple banks. Usually we do about 4 to 5 each time we do a round of funding. So if you sign up with us, it's a 12-month membership, and the normal cost is discounted if you go to the link, $500 off the normal price. If you do the math, let's say we got you $100,000 and you were going to do a deal with that because that was what you needed, right? So if you do the math on our fee and you add our fee to the cost of sending a wire, which is 2.5%. So 2.5% on $100,000, $2,500 plus our fee, your cost is still half or under half of what it would be if you use a hard money loan at 12% interest, which is what a lot of them are going to be, unless you got a relationship or you're, seasoned. But a lot of the newer ones are going to be, newer investors are going to be like around 10 to 12%. So the cost for this is usually going to be half that, $2,500 for the wire on $100,000, because it's 2.5%. Plastic charges your credit card, and they send the wire to the title company, and it happens like right away. It's easy. And then our cost, which is $3,500, it's normally $4,000, but we got a special deal for Chris's subscribers. So if you go to his link, you'll be able to get access to that price. So I saw somebody sent a message. It all starts in the buy. If I could just become the cash buyer, that would be great. And that's exactly what this allows you to do. I don't know about your market, but a lot of markets out there, you can usually find deals under 100,000. So this is just a great fit for that, for those deals especially. And if you're a wholesaler, it gives you that extra confidence when you're speaking to the seller to really be able to say that I can actually buy this deal. Like, not, you're not just kind of fibbing about it. You can actually buy the deal. And some deals you'll end up buying once you have the credit, and you thought you weren't, you thought maybe you were just going to always wholesale. Maybe you'll buy a flip that's got like a $70,000 spread after repair. That sometimes it makes sense if you can get them, especially cheap. I interviewed a client. He bought his first 6 investment properties with the credit that we got for him. He basically wholesaled on the front end to find properties, but he bought them instead of wholesaling them. So he was getting deals direct to seller, and he used funding to cover his marketing and to also fund each deal outright. This guy got an amazing deal. He got 4 properties for like $65,000 somehow in a package deal.
Wow.
And I think they were like duplexes or something. And he ended up collecting like $3,500 a month in rent from those properties, and he spent $65,000 to get them. So it gives you opportunity, and it gives you the potential to actually buy properties. So that's kind of the service in a nutshell. You sign up with us, you get a welcome email, you fill out your information, and then somebody will review your file, will review your credit, and let you know where you stand. If we decide that you qualify right now, then you'll go right to applications, and we'll start getting you funding right away. Or we'll say, hey, you're maxed out, you got to pay down X amount. So then we'll put you into what we call pay downs. It's just like we got 3 phases. We got straight to funding, pay downs, or credit repair is where you could end up going.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's I think that covers. Oh, we also help with inquiry removal. After we apply, we show you how to get the inquiries removed, or you can pay Kadem, and Kadem will remove them for you. You pay Kadem a couple $100, and then they'll do the disputes and they'll get the inquiries removed. And it's not, I'm not saying we're going to get them all removed, but it doesn't matter because after 4 months, those inquiries hold no weight anyway. But we do, after the batch of credit is done, we start doing inquiry removal, and we usually get about 80% of those inquiries removed. And then once that's done, 6 months after your first batch, usually that's when we're going to go after your second batch of credit or round of credit, which means we're going to apply to 4 to 5 banks, and we'll get you, on average 50,000 when we apply. Sometimes more. We've gotten people 150,000. We've gotten tons of people 80, 100,000. Right now with the pandemic, things are a little bit slower, so we're averaging around 50,000 right now on the first round of funding.
You mentioned, I'm trying to just get in my mind with this hard money thing, Mike. I know when I use hard money, I've got, after 6 months, I've got extension fees. My interest rate sometimes changes, and it's more of a penalty every month. Do you guys have that within the first year for your membership?
No, there's no annual fee on the credit that we get. It's 0 interest. Each one is usually an average of 12 months. Some are 9 months, some are 15 months.
Gotcha. Okay.
But there's no prepayment fee. There's nothing else going on. Like with hard money, you might get hit with some kind of fees or something. Like if you miss a payment, you can lose your whole deal with a hard money loan. But with credit, you know that's not the case, and it's unsecured, so it's not collateralized to or tied to the asset.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of gives you a little bit more like safety net in a sense, because you're not directly, like, if you miss a payment on the credit or even 2 payments, you're not just going to lose your house that you bought. But if you do it with a hard money loan and you've been paying for 6 months, you could lose the whole deal.
They're coming for you. Mike, I want to talk to you after I take a quick question. I want to talk to you about using other people's, if my credit might be a little challenged, I could work with somebody. Chris Monroe wants to know, what is the minimum credit score requirement, Mike?
Really, 730 and up is really what we would like to start at on a video, because we're going to get a lot of people coming in below that anyway. So I could say 680, but then, especially right now with the pandemic, we are, like I've said, it's tightened up a little bit as far as the amount that we're getting people. So the people with the more limited, dinged up credit profiles, are going to be in a tougher spot right now. So 730 and up, you're good to go. If you're at about a 680 to a 730, you might be good where you're at. It just all depends on your history, not just the score. Because I could have an 800 and Chris could have an 800, and I could be 22 years old with 1 credit card, and Chris could have $30,000 credit cards. And obviously he's got a stronger profile, but I still have a high score because I have good payment history and I'm not maxed out, but I have limited new credit. So 730 and up usually is where we want people to be.
So what about if I have a business partner, Mike, that I want to come in with, their credit might be a little stronger than mine? Do you offer something like that?
Yeah. So if you have a family member, friend, someone close to you, business partner, let's say you both have good credit, you can get double the amount of funding in the first round. We had a spouse couple a few months ago. They got 284,000 together.
Wow.
In 1 round in the beginning, but not common results, but still. Anyway, so if you have bad credit, you could bring your spouse, your father, your mother, whoever you want to bring in with you, business partner. If you have bad credit, we can repair your credit, and then in the meantime, we can use them with their good credit profile and apply and get you guys funding right away. And then you can utilize that funding as well. You could even become an authorized user if you set that up with them in advance.
Mike, Apex wants to know, they just started their LLC. They have no assets. They want to know, do they have to sign personally for the credit to fund or flip their next investment?
Yeah. So when I'm saying that it's credit based, I'm saying that they're going to look at your personal credit, which means you do have to sign personally. That's why, a lot of people get that, they get kind of like, not confused, but like maybe a little turned off, because I'm talking about business credit
Hmm.
But yet I'm at the same time, I'm talking about personal credit being the qualifier. That's just the way it is, though. There's no loan, there's no lines of credit that you can get that are actually worth having that you can get without a personal credit check.
Nope.
Everything is going to require a personal credit check. Even a lot of hard money lenders are going to look at that.
Yep.
But the
They're still
point is,
looking at it.
yes, you do sign personally, so you're personally guaranteeing it, but it's worth it. It's zero interest. It doesn't actually report to your personal credit as long as you maintain it and you pay it back. You make at least the minimum payment. Now you've got $50,000, $100,000 all separate from your personal credit. Even though you had to get that personal credit check in the beginning to get it, it's great to have that. It's great to have 50,000 that doesn't show up on your personal report, so it won't bring your personal scores down. And I'd say like 98% of business owners and investors use personal credit instead of business credit because they don't really know about it. It's not been thrown in their face enough, but
They don't.
it makes a lot of sense to do that personal guarantee unless you have, I don't know, there's really no reason, because if you have good personal credit, that means you qualify for business credit. That means you know how to handle credit. That means you know how to pay things back on time. So it really is a no-brainer to use business credit. There's nothing like to worry about. Like
no negatives. It doesn't show up on your credit score. That's cool.
Exactly.
Stella, hey, what are you looking for in the companies that you work with, Mike?
The main thing is credit. Like, we don't really worry too much about anything else. That's really how it works with business credit that you can get through all the major banks. They're not as worried about your entity or your business plan or any of that stuff. It's credit based. It's an automated process for the most part. When you apply and get approved, that's why the bank likes to lend that way, because it's an automated process for the most part until we come in and we make it a manual process every time we apply, which allows us to get clients more. But the point is, the bank likes lending through credit cards, through business credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
So the main thing that they care about is your credit score and your credit history. If you're around a 35% debt to credit ratio on your credit cards, major bank cards, not store cards. If you're at a 35% debt to credit ratio, you're at about a 730 and up. You've got a couple major bank cards open, and you don't have 5 brand new accounts that you just opened. So if all of that sounds like your credit profile, 730, couple major bank credit cards, not brand new, they've got some seasoning on them, you don't have a bankruptcy or anything negative on your report. If that's you, then you pretty much qualify. If you have $5,000 to $10,000 major bank cards, you qualify around here. If you have $10,000 to $30,000 major bank credit cards in your personal right now, then you qualify around here for business credit. And this could be right about now, it's like 30, 50,000. And then, on the upper end is like 75 to like 120,000. And we've, gotten that routinely for people with good credit. So that's really what the bank is looking for, what I was just trying to explain right there.
Yeah, Roundup. Make sure you visit the link in the video description. Mike has given my Roundup fam a $500 discount. If you use that link, if you go outside of and go to his website, you will pay more for the subscription. And that's a 1-year thing, right, Mike?
Yep. Yeah, 1 year, 3 rounds of funding, and we have a 60-day refund period, which allows people to sign up, see if they qualify, and if something comes up, you got 60 days to get your money back. If for whatever reason we can't just go right into funding, but if we go right into funding and you get funding, then obviously there's no refunding and getting funding.
Okay.
And that would not be fair.
Hey, Bobby, what's up, buddy? Do you need a Dun & Bradstreet number to get these credit lines, Mike?
You do not, but having a Dun & Bradstreet number, profile, paydex score, corporate credit history with like the vendor 30 or the vendor accounts, the net 30 accounts, that stuff helps, but it's not a necessity. we don't need Dun & Bradstreet in order to get business credit, but it helps. It can help. Let's say you have limited personal credit right now, or let's say you have bad credit. We'll do credit repair for you, and we would also recommend that you start building some credit with Dun & Bradstreet. And we show people how to do that. We have a whole step-by-step do-it-yourself instruction, guideline that people can use when they sign up with us, which allows them to set up their Dun & Bradstreet number and to get access to vendor credit that has no personal guarantee at all. This vendor credit has no personal credit check, but it allows you to build a corporate credit profile so that once your personal credit is repaired and then we go and apply for zero interest business credit, they can see the corporate credit profile and they can see the good personal credit profile. But if you've already got good personal credit, we don't need to wait 6 months to build your corporate credit rating. If you got good personal credit right now, you're good to go. If you've already started building Dun & Bradstreet credit, that's fine. But personally, I don't care that much about Dun & Bradstreet credit because it's mostly just vendor credit, like, Staples, Uline, stuff like that. Like you get a specific vendor credit account with a specific vendor. And that's really the extent of it. There's no zero interest business credit, like cash type credit that you can get without a personal guarantee. There's other guys online talking about getting access to cash credit without a personal credit check, but it's misleading to say the least. You're the only way you're getting cash credit with zero interest rates through major banks or any type of credit with zero interest with cash accessible type credit. The only way you're getting that is with a personal credit check.
Guarantee, yeah.
If you hear anything else out there, which you might have on YouTube or other places, I'm telling you, it's a misleading pitch.
Okay.
It's not really true.
Renee wants to know, you good on time, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Renee wants to know, can you get business lines of credit for private trust? I don't know what that means, Mike.
You can use it for whatever you want, but we're going to say set up an entity, and it doesn't have to be an LLC. We can set up a sole proprietorship. You get your tax ID number, and then you can apply using that tax ID number. It doesn't hinder anything. It helps. It makes it all easier. And if you have a trust, we're not going to use that to apply. So we'll say, here, let's set up a sole proprietorship, and we can match your years of industry experience. It's one of the questions when you set up a sole proprietorship. What are your years of industry experience? It also asks what industry you'd like to be in. We usually recommend business management or marketing and advertising, since if you're managing a trust and you have multiple companies, then you can set up a sole proprietorship and apply for credit that way, and then you can use the credit within each business however you want to do that. That's up to you, but that's the way that we would usually recommend doing it.
Yeah, Roundup, you can use it for anything. Shoot, Roundup, get your questions in, please. We're here with Mike Bakes with Fund and Grow. If you want to find out what you may qualify for, just visit the link in the video description. Roundup family, go ahead and head it down there. Miss Maria finally made it to it. Oh, well, thank you for coming. Thank you. I've got to hit that one. Sorry about that. Thomas, what's up, Thomas? Rental properties passive. Oh, do rental properties passive income qualify?
Yes.
He's talking about. Go ahead, Mike.
Yes. We have a lot of clients that are buying rental properties. I've interviewed multiple clients. One of them has 45 rental properties. He told me that after getting access to credit with us, he'd already bought 3 properties. He'd already began rehabbing them. I think he's even refinanced 2 of them. So this guy added 10 rentals to his portfolio last year before he got with us. He got with Fund and Grow in October of 2019. And I interviewed him a couple months ago. He had already bought 3 deals by then. So within about 6-7 months, he'd already bought 3 deals with the credit that we got him. And he's refinanced. So he said he's going to be able to add 20 more properties to his portfolio now this year versus 10 properties last year because of the funding with us. So he was already using his own money. He was I think he was using hard money as well. Another client, the guy I told you about, he bought 6 properties, his first investment deals that he bought. I told you about him earlier. Yep. He has used the credit that we got him to buy all those properties. They're all rental properties. He kept them, and he's refinanced, cash out refinanced, and then repeats the process. So that's how that works. You can refinance, you can cash out refinance. Once the property is tenanted and cash flowing, you get it appraised, and you do the cash out refi. And by the way, the other thing I was told a lot from clients is that they're able to refinance easier now because the debt that they use for their business is on their business credit
Not
report.
on their personal.
It's not bringing. So when they go and they do their mortgage stuff with the refi guy, they're not looking at that. They see the personal credit and it looks way better. And also it is way better because they're not putting debt on their personal. They're putting it on the business credit where we advise them to put it. So it keeps your credit looking way better and makes things easier when it comes to getting other loans.
Yeah, debt to income.
Mhm.
Christopher Horton, what's up? How many credit cards are issued in total? And if there are multiple credit cards, what are the interest rates, Mike? Good question.
Yep. So there's usually 4 to 5 per round of funding. When we do 3 rounds of funding, we can merge some of the older accounts with the newer accounts, close older accounts, reapply to the same account. So
Wow.
it allows you to get access to 3 rounds of funding. Each time we apply, like I said, 4 to 5 applications. So 4 to 5 cards usually. 0 interest, average 12 months, some 15 months, some 9 months. Interest rate after 0 interest expires is 12 to 16% on average. Depends on your credit.
Yep.
That's how that works. But we help you extend the amount of time that you have it at 0 interest. Because we do those 3 rounds of funding, beginning, middle, and end of the membership, you can get longer periods of time that you have 0 interest in general. So if I get my card today and then I get another card at the end of the 12 months, I just got another 12-month offer. So now I can just merge these 2 cards or move the balance over to the new, whatever it is, whatever the procedure is going to be. It's giving you a longer period of time at 0 interest. So it's
Gotcha.
well worth it.
You got some tricks, Mike. You got some tricks over there. I'm telling y'all.
Hey, we've been doing this for 12 years, by the way. I've been with the company for 9 years, and we are about 40, 45 employees now. We just bought a new office building. We're on the Inc. 5000 list going on 5 years in a row. Inc. 5000, America's fastest growing private companies.
Mm-hmm.
We have over 2,000 positive reviews. So it's all real. It's all legit. It's a great resource, and it's something to definitely look into if you're doing deals, if you're doing any type of business. You need money to grow it, really. If you could spend more on marketing, if you could just spend more on marketing, you could grow your business. I mean, everyone knows that. When you have more leads, you could do more deals. And where does that come from? Unless you're just cold calling, then you need to spend some money or hire people, pay your VA. I could pay my VA through Upwork 100% with credit. So that's another thing. You can hire employees and you could pay them with the credit. And then you get cashback rewards, free travel. Ari, the CEO, he just went to Spain. It's like a $30,000 first class trip for his family.
Nice.
All was all free because we're spending tens of thousands, sometimes over 100,000 in marketing ad spend every month. So
how much does it cost? Apex, how much is the cost? If I could be my own cash buyer, that would be great.
So we have a $500 discount. If anybody wants that $500 discount, you go to the link, fill out the form, and one of our team members will call you. But if you're on here right now and you say, hey, I want the discount, because we don't know how long we're going to leave it open for. So if you want it right now, say, hey, I want it. I want a phone call. If you put the comment in, and then go to the link and fill out the form. That way, we'll be able to call you guys first. If you're the ones that said that, hey, I want to call, I want in. We'll call you guys first because we usually get a ton of these submissions, and some of the people that put the submission in don't even, they don't qualify. So if you're around a 7:30 and you're like kind of ready to go for this, let us know. We'll give you a call. Go to the link, fill it out, and someone will reach out.
If you need funds for a rental, yep, he can help you with that. Edna, Big E, Mike? Are there any guarantees with your service? I don't know what that
There's means. A 60-day refund period. So it's technically a 60-day guarantee period. Now, if let's say you have bad credit right now, we can't apply, then you'll figure that out. We'll tell you that right away. In the first week of working with us, we'll say, hey, here's the deal. We need to remove this. It could take a couple months. You could say, oh, okay, well, can we just put my membership on hold and while you guys complete credit repair? And we'll say, yeah, we can do that. And we'll start the 12 months once credit repair is done. Gotcha. Or you can say, I thought I was going to get funding right now. I don't qualify. I want my money back. Okay. Then we'll give you your money right back. That's
Gotcha.
pretty much how that works. But if we've applied and we've gotten you $50,000, then that right there is, the terms of service outlines that you can't ask or get a refund if you've gotten credit.
They wouldn't ask for
Substantial
that,
credit,
Mike. They wouldn't. I know
obviously.
my Roundup homies wouldn't. David, is it a hard inquiry on your credit report?
Yeah, it is. When we apply, it is at first a hard inquiry with the credit, the lender. So yes, it is an inquiry. It's usually like 2 to 3 points per inquiry. We help you guys remove them after 120 days. Inquiries hold no weight. They don't look at those inquiries outside of 4 months. So 2 to 3 points per inquiry is, that's something. But then, $50,000, $100,000 in business credit, it's worth a couple inquiries.
Yeah. Edna, how do I get in touch? Yes, Edna, just go to the link in the video description below. Sign right up and they'll give you a call, see what you qualify for. That's what I'm saying. Biggie, what is the expected turnaround time to receive your first batch of credit? That's a good one.
Well, since the pandemic, things have slowed down a little bit.
What was it before, Mike?
It was like 2 to 3 weeks, but now it's like 2 to 4 weeks. It's like more like 30 days, just because things are. For one, we used to be able to get back in touch with each bank every 2 days, every 2 to 3 days. Now it's taking like 3 to 5 days for us to get an answer on decisions after we put it in review. So more like 30 days is the turnaround now.
Gotcha. Free church press. I'm gonna have to come back to you on that. They got a free house, foreclosed on it. David, when yeah, that was nice. David, when you get approved, it's a good question. Are you able to take out the cash without being penalized for an increase or cash advance interest rate? That's a great one, man. Because most people taking the money on Mike, because I know on my card we have a cash advance rate and then a charge rate.
Yeah, you don't want to do a cash advance. You can do a bounce transfer in some cases for like 2 to 3%. But the other way is plastic. They will charge your card and you pay them 2.5%. They send a wire, they send a check. That's how the best way to do it. So plastic.com or Melio, same thing. They do the same process. So what they allow you to send a wire. So you sign up with plastic. It's super easy. And then now let's say I wanted to pay, let's say Kris was selling me a good deal. I wanted to pay for that deal. Well, obviously we would take it to the title company to do the paperwork. And then I would send my wire to that title company. Now they've got cash and they put that in their escrow account. And now you're closing as a cash buyer. That's how to do it. And it costs 2.5%. So it's cheap. It's not expensive to use that. And then also when you do that, if you do it like, let's say you do like $70,000 that you're buying that property, you send that wire for $70,000, you just got like 70,000 or more, however that works, in rewards points every time you're doing a deal. So what's that mean? It's paying for the 2.5% cost. And I've had clients tell me that on interviews that it's basically a wash paying the 2.5% because it washes out with the cashback rewards and the free travel rewards that you're getting.
Gotcha. Good question. Roundup, get your questions in here for Mike and make sure you go to the link in the video description to see what you qualify for. We've got it right there and you get a discount going through our link. Thomas, must everything be in an entity or ownership of the property?
Must everything be an entity or ownership of property qualify for now? I think that's a little hard to read, but so in order to qualify for credit right now, all you need is credit.
What's so funny, Mike?
That's just the way you wrote that and the way you said must everything. So look, the way this works, you just have to have good personal credit. That's it. As far as the entity ownership of property, that's up to you. If let's say you own property and you got an LLC, whatever, that's up to you. But like if I'm trying to buy a deal from Kris, let's say Kris has it in his LLC name and I'm trying to do this deal with my LLC name, I'm still sending the wire from my credit card to the title company using plastic. It's simple. It's literally like that easy.
Bobby Russian, once you have your entity set up, Mike, would attaching assets to the entity earn you higher credit lines? Do you care about having entities?
No, not really, because it's all credit based. We're not putting up any asset to get the credit line. It's not a secured credit line. It's an unsecured credit line, which means it's not secured to an asset. So there's no collateral. So as far as you having assets, it's not really going to help with the credit side of things. But that's another conversation that you might be able to get a home equity line of credit, things like that with that asset. But with what we do, no, not really. I'm curious if that Bobby Rushing Jr., does he have any relation to Kenny Rushing here in Tampa? Just curious.
I don't think he wouldn't be. He would be using Kenny's money if he was related to. I mean, Kenny would be his bank, right?
Okay. All right, you're right.
If they are, I would be using Kenny as my bank, right?
Yeah, it makes sense, unless maybe a deal fell through in the past.
Mike, you crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Roundup. Get your questions in for Mike. He was wilding out. Brian, could a trade line or AU boost your score? What's an AU?
Authorized user.
Oh,
it helps a little bit, but when it comes down to it, when you're on the phone with them and you're like, "Hey, did I get approved for business credit?" And they're like, "Oh, no, sorry, you only have one authorized user account on your profile. And since you're not solely responsible for repayment on that account, we can't use that in our decision." So basically, that credit card that maybe it's your mom's credit card and you're only an authorized user on it, overall, it helps the picture look better, but it's not really, it's not really like going to make a decision when it comes to their approval. So if you've got a couple primaries that are your accounts and you got one or two authorized users on there, that helps overall. It makes the picture look better, but when you do apply and it comes down to it, they're looking at your primary borrower accounts, not just your authorized users.
Gotcha. Day Morris. Hey, Day. If you have an 800 credit score but have no substance, would it be a good idea to buy a couple trade lines? I'm guessing she meant trade lines before coming to you for funding for higher initial credit lines.
No, it'd be better for you to just get actual credit and build history the real right way, which is what we would do. So if you came and you said, "Hey, I got 800 credit score, but I only have one little credit card," we would say, "Let's get you some personal credit." That's what we need to do, and that's exactly what we would do. Rosanna put her email in. Rosanna, make sure you fill out the form at the link in the description too.
Yeah, you got to get to that.
I'm going to copy and paste this right now to the head of our business development team, so that when they get that, they'll be able to put you in the front.
Nice. I appreciate that. Mike, these guys are taking care of my people. I promise you. I can show you the spreadsheet here. It's crazy. Just getting millions of dollars to my rounduppers. Carl, what if you have a great score, but you don't have the 30K limits, for example, on your other lines already? I think you did an example, like if you only have a $10,000 card, but and a $30,000 card.
Yeah, you don't have to have $30,000 limits right now, but if what do you have? Do you have like at least one or two major bank? When I say that, I mean not store credit. So not like just like Macy's or whatever, but like a Bank of America card with a $5,000 limit, and let's say a Citibank card with a $10,000 limit. That's a decent foundation. That's not super strong, but it's not super limited. So if you're around there, or maybe let's say you've only got one $5,000 account right now with Bank of America, that's somewhat limited. So we would say we probably want to get you some personal, because you only got one personal. Even though all you want is business credit right now, we'd say in order to qualify the right way and get the most business credit, the best and smartest thing to do for the long term is to get a couple more personal credit cards. So now we have a few personal credit cards to go off of when we're going after business credit. It's just going to help in the long term.
Gotcha. Rosanna, you mentioned assistance removing inquiries. How many inquiries are typically ran? I'm guessing she's talking about
4 to 5 usually is what we're applying for. Sometimes more, a little bit more, but nothing, drastically over. Like 7 would be like the max if somebody, uh, usually 4 to 5 is how many we would apply for the
gotcha.
most part. And then each application is an inquiry. So usually 4 to 5.
David, how long is the 0% interest rate for, Mike?
Average 12 months, some are 9, some are 15 months.
Gotcha. Kris Monroe, how long does it take to fund the deal once you get qualified, Mike?
It's pretty much same day when you send a wire. It's right away. It's not a waiting. There's no waiting game with it. It's just like when you send a wire from your bank account. If you've ever done that for whatever, it's like by the end of the business day, it happens.
Oh, wow. Cool. Rosanna wants to know, what are the typical terms to pay back the loan? Well, this is the credit
1% of
loan.
the balance that you carry. So if you have a $10,000 balance right now, but your card is a $30,000 card, you have that $10,000 balance still, then 1% of that would be $100. That would be your minimum monthly payment.
Gotcha.
You can pay it all off if you want, or you can just do the 1% minimum monthly payment for a couple months, pay off a chunk, whatever it is that you want to do. But obviously, we expect if you put down a huge balance, sooner or later you're going to get a return and be able to pay that balance off. And that's usually what we would advise people to do, especially right before we're going to do your next round of funding. We'd say, hey, we're going to apply again soon. It'd be a good idea to pay a chunk of this off so that we're not going in fully maxed out, even if it's your business credit. Because when you go and apply for more business credit, they do see your business credit. But when it's a cash out refinance or a mortgage, they're not usually seeing that.
Roundup, good questions here, Mike. How much more time we got for you, Mike? It's 3:29 now.
Just like another couple minutes or so. I do got another meeting lined up, but
Cool.
if there's questions, we can grab them.
David has signed up already. He got a personal account with Chase. Should I open up a business account with Chase as well with his EIN number?
David, so if you've already got a personal account with Chase, then definitely it's time to go after a business account. If you're already our client, then we should, I imagine that's part of our plan as well, unless there's a reason that we're focusing on personal first, because maybe you're limited, like I was just talking about before. Looks like you just signed up 5 days ago. So if you already have, so if you've already got a relationship with Chase, then yeah, we'll okay, I see what you're asking me, because they're requiring, so it's Chase started requiring that you have a pre-existing bank account with them. I will ask right now, give me 1 second. Let me just ask the guy that's in charge of all the applications and all the funding to see if it's required as a personal account or a business checking account.
So if you're interested, okay.
So just to clear that up, David's asking, do I need to go and open up a business checking account so that we can apply for a business credit card with Chase? Because earlier in the call, I mentioned that Chase started requiring that you have a bank account open with them before you can apply for business credit. I'm just making sure, does it have to be a business account or can it be personal?
Good question, Dave. Good question, David. So we can do that. You'll come back to that, Mike, as you're checking?
Yeah. No, it could be a personal bank account. It doesn't have to be a business bank account.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to set up a business bank account unless you want to.
Sven wants to know, can you borrow money in New York? He's in New York.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. New York, Hawaii, Puerto Rico.
Mike, Rosanna. Oh, she got to go to that link below, Rosanna, to get signed up. I don't think y'all don't reach out. Y'all don't call people cold call, do you? I don't know.
Yeah, I copy and pasted Rosanna's message over to Christy. So Rosanna, if you go and you fill out the form at the link, then you should be getting called first.
Does this have anything? I'm sorry, Tiffany Invests. Does this have anything to do with your paydex score?
Not so much. It's more about your personal credit. Paydex score, I talked about this earlier. It helps your overall picture, but if you've already got good personal credit, then you don't need to worry so much about the Paydex score. We just need to start getting you zero interest business credit. That's
Gotcha.
where the most benefit is.
Roundup, before we get to our final statement here, which is a big one, make sure you go to the video description below, get signed up, see how much you qualify for with Fund and Grow. Use the discount that your board negotiated for you. This is what I do. We contact vendors and we try to offer maximum value to you so you can grow your business and buy more houses and be more financially free. No, Bobby Rushings is not kin to Kenny Rushing, Mike.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that was out there. We had to find that one out. Okay. Last thing you want to leave my rounduppers, Mike, before we let you get out of here about this business credit line thing. You've already done $1 million. Once again, thank you. $1.8 million for my homies. I mean, it's just unbelievable what you're doing, Mike.
Yeah, no, I'd say, we're here. We're a resource. It's a real, reliable service that we provide. So if anyone's interested, go to the link in the description, fill that out. We have a team of about 40 employees here now in Florida, and we've been doing this for about 12 years. I've been here 9 years, and it's a great service, a great team of people that you'll be working with. So I'd say, if you're doing deals, now's a good time. Get some funding. Yep. Like Kris was saying earlier, real estate's heating up. The market's hot right now. There's a lot of motivated sellers out there. Unemployment, all that stuff right now is the economy, so it's a good time to have access to funding because deals are starting to heat up.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Mike, thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Thank you. Have a good one, Kris.
Yes, sir. Okay. Roundup. That was Mike Banks. Thank you for joining us today. I just am honored to bring these people to you. I'm just a street reporter. I'm a street reporter. Go to the video description. Find out what you could qualify for if you're interested in getting more capital to buy real estate. And prayerfully this week, we have several deals. If you're interested in getting some money working, I am just so blessed to have more opportunities come our way. If you have any capital you want to get working, just send me a private message. KrisBuysHouses@gmail.com, or just go to krishaskins.com. If you've got some capital you want to get working, don't spend your entire life not getting your money working for you. My life opened up when I finally figured out how to manage money. Earning is one thing, but once you figure out how to manage it, that's when you can really grow. All right, I'll be coming back to you all week. We're still on this crazy quarantine. I miss going outside every day, but I'll see you soon. Make sure you subscribe, share this content with anybody else that may need to get funding for their business. It doesn't have to be real estate. It could be any business, whether you want to do marketing, buy new equipment, new trucks, automobiles, as long as you're using it for business. You better not. I'm coming after you. If you use this money, this credit, these lines for anything that can be consumed. We do not buy consumable goods with investment capital, okay? All right, Roundup, subscribe, hit that like button, smash that button for your boy. And I'll be in touch with you. Go to the video description below and see exactly how much you qualify for. They do this all day. Okay, peace.